Welcome to Find Your Clear Vision, a personal branding and mindset podcast. I'm your host, Lisa Guillot. I help high-performing leaders like you reignite the connection to your highest self and design your life and brand from the inside out. I'm a blend of bright colors and deep conversations, tarot cards and strategy decks, bluegrass, and Tribe Called Quest. If you're looking to bring your fullest expression to your life, you're in the right place. Let's dive in. Hello, friend. So honored and humbled that you are here to join me today. And we are talking about that outer expression, that personal branding. So if you have been following along this month, in episode 15, I interviewed Lisa Guillot about what divine feminine energy is and how to connect to that energy. And then last week in episode 16, I shared the distinct differences between masculine and feminine energy and how we can be in union with both sides of ourselves. And that truly makes a more powerful version of your highest and best self. So we've done the inner mindset work. And this week we are going to do the outer work. And we're going to look at how does your unified energy show up in your personal brand. I'm going to share with you 3 steps to building your personal brand that's aligned with your masculine and feminine energy, which really just means who you are at your most powerful. But first, got to share with you that Apple Podcast review. This comes from Health Up with Terry, and she says that Lisa is such an inspiration in so many ways. Her strategies to find your clear vision are spot on. Do yourself a favor and subscribe to this fabulous podcast. Health Up with Terry. Thank you. I'm just bursting. My cheeks hurt as I was smiling so much reading that. I really appreciate that. And if you haven't left a review yet, I would so love and appreciate if you did. That helps the podcast. That helps others find me. And just brings more, love and warmth and juice to this whole experience. So thank you in advance. All right, let's dive on in. So when you are in the practice of self-awareness and witnessing the choices that you are making, whether that's aligned with masculine, feminine, energy, either or both, when those choices are coming from a united and intentional space, you are naturally more open to receive creative downloads and opportunities. The union of your masculine and feminine energy is a superpower. It is a superpower that allows you to expand your energy with laser focus. And when your masculine and feminine energies are in union, you can be both structured, moving forward with a plan, and flexible to unexpected sparks of joy or ideas or fun. We can have both and. You can run a successful business and be a silly mom. You can have a fulfilling career and be soft and sexy. You are realizing and expressing your whole self through the risk-taking. And I do say it is risky. It's risky because we haven't done it before. And now's the time. And dare I say that this risk actually leads to fun, fulfillment, and what you most desire. And that's why you're here. That is why you are here. Let me share with you a story because this story is going to lead right into what I'm sharing about personal branding. So in 2008, I was one of the very first waves of people to sign up for Gwyneth Paltrow's newsletter. And this was when she was sharing some of these new age spiritual practices and activities that she was trying, like cupping or vaginal steaming. And I thought, oh my God, what in the world? Who does this? What is this? Oh, and what is that? Right? But I was hooked. And her newsletter eventually became what we now know as Goop. It is a multi-million-dollar lifestyle brand and business. Before Goop became this lifestyle brand with multiple product lines, from vitamins to clothing, that newsletter of Gwyneth Paltrow's quirky things that she was trying on, showcasing what she was being led to by her intuition because she was curious, led to things that she would share that wasn't, let's say, typical. But she can be both quirky and consistent. But we know that mainstream media shunned her for many reasons. One of which was when she, quote unquote, consciously uncoupled, aka divorced, from her husband, Chris Martin. He is the frontman for Coldplay. That term now, consciously uncoupling, is known, especially in my industry. It is a well-known thing. It's a beautiful thing. She was the first person to do it. Mainstream media also hopped on her when, in her holiday gift guide, she had a $1,000 gold-plated juicer. Okay? But here's the insight. She was the first. She was led by her intuition, led by that feminine energy to create and explore and seek and try on unknown things. And then she shared it. And she shared it again and again and again. And she was being true to her clear vision of curiosity. That is one of the biggest values that I see in everything that she does and what she represents. Now, listen, did anybody buy the $1,000 gold-plated juicer? Who cares? Who cares? Literally. But she continued to show up and now is literally, I believe, the godmother of the wellness industry because she kept showing up. So here's the question. What is your gold-plated juicer? What do you want to share, but are scared of maybe what your peers would think or what your partner might say or a family member might say about you if you really shared that thing that you are most curious about and you want to discover and learn more about and share because it's fun and it lights you up? Capture that thing. Capture it. Write it down. We're going to come back to it. Ask yourself, and here's the moment we're going to get into action. What's something that you can share today that is a step towards building your personal brand with more intention? Let me pause for a minute and clarify. I'm using these two words interchangeably, intention and strategy. They're really one and the same. So for example, my strategy is to post on social media every day. My intention is to post on social today. Quick note about strategy. The word, as in like quote unquote marketing or branding strategy, don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. It's not something that you need an MBA to understand at all. You do not need to be a strategist. Strategy is simply how you make your intention real. It's the plan, one step at a time. And here's how you do it. You just do it. You post. You post today, and then you post again tomorrow. So, for example, my strategy to writing my book is to wake up at 6 a.m. and write for an hour. That is the first step in my morning ritual. Well, after I make coffee, but you get the point, okay? My strategy is to wake up on time, so I set an alarm. Okay, so there you see, I've got my strategy and my intention, what I'm doing and how I'm going to do it. And then you have to follow through. That's the masculine energy, the plan, the structure, the doing it. All right. All right. So let's dive in here. Here are the first 3 steps to building your personal brand that are aligned with the union of your masculine and feminine energy, AKA who you are at your most powerful. Number 1, first step, you have got to clear all the tricks that your mind's playing on you. Now, if you remember from episode 16, this was one of the tools I shared, that inner mindset work. You got to clear out all the tricks your mind is playing on you so you can come from a clear, intentional place. That is step number 2, aligned with your clear vision. If you have not defined your clear vision while connected to your highest self, you can do that with me in one of my introductory coaching sessions. I want to invite you to sign up for an introductory coaching session, and we can really explore and take a look at whatever you want. But oftentimes, new clients use this as an opportunity to define their clear vision. So that's step number 2. Step number 1, clear all the tricks your mind's playing on you. Step number 2, define your clear vision. And then step number 3, this is where we're going to deep dive for a moment here. You got to show up, and you got to show up again and again and again. Now listen, personal branding is a mindset. It's you at your highest and best. It's you connected to your full holistic self. And your personal brand is already alive and kicking over there on Google or LinkedIn or Instagram. Go ahead. Google yourself. If you haven't done it in a while, do it. Yesterday, I Googled myself because I was on a call with my Purposeful Networking group, which is a group I started, must have been, about a year ago. And we gather every month to talk about how to purposefully network. Because I don't like networking, but if I do it with purpose and intention and others to support me, then yeah, it gets a lot better. So we talked about Googling yourself, and I did. And it was fun. It was interesting to see what shows up. Do it. Google yourself. See what life your personal brand has taken on. And instead of letting it just run wild out there, let's set some intentions and let's show up with intention and on purpose. So setting a strategy for your personal brand is actually kind of a longer process that I work with my clients in a one-on-one capacity with. But today, we're going to talk about just 2 ways to frame intention. Okay, this is those daily intentions as it relates to your personal brand. And the first way to do that is how to show up in person. And next, we're going to look at how you show up online. So in person, here's some ways you can start to show up to show off your personal brand, who you are at your most powerful. First way to do it, smile. Smile on those Zoom calls. You bring energy into a room. Notice what energy you're bringing with you. Have a point of view. Know what you stand for. This is your character, your reputation, your tone of voice. Showing up in person builds relationships. That is part of your personal brand. Be a team player. All those quote unquote soft skills that HR departments love to talk about, these are really actually feminine skills. Be empathetic, compassionate, actively listen. Don't just nod and say yes. Actively listen and respond. These are ways that you can show up in person with intention. And ultimately, people are going to be like, oh yeah, Lisa, she brings some energy into a room. Let me tell you what. And I do it with purpose. Like I could go deep dive into how I bring energy into a room, and that could be a whole nother conversation. But just know that you do it too. You do it too, my friend. Okay. Let's look at just some quick ways that you can show up online with intention to build your personal brand. Okay, but we got to backstep one moment here. You need to know before you go online and start posting all over the place, you got to know, who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? That's part of your strategy. Are you out to find a job that is aligned with your clear vision? Then you're going to have a different strategy, a different approach than somebody who is building a following to build a community to build thought leadership, right? There's more of a macro view when building a community or a following to build your authority. There is more of a micro view if you're trying to just get one job. You're talking to a different type of audience when you're doing those two different things. Do you hear the difference there? Yeah. Okay. So here are some ways that you can show up online with intention. Once you've cleared out all that clutter in your mind, we have aligned our masculine and feminine energy. So you are being your most powerful. So like Gwyneth Paltrow, you show up with consistency and then you do it again the next day and the next day and the next day. Think about, what do you want to be known for? What do you want to be known for? Gwyneth Paltrow, for example, it's curiosity, new age practices, exploration. She's a seeker. This is what she is now known for, and she shares with consistency. Share again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Ask questions online. We're not just talking to a blank wall. Ask questions. Get curious, have conversations. And to get a little bit more tactical in how you can show up online, hire a graphic designer. Or you can work with Be Bright Branding to create a branded style guide for you. You know what? Let me pause just for a second because I do want to share with you something that's coming up in October. And this is going to be the first time I am hosting a personal branding summit. My high hope, fingers crossed, is that we get to host this in Chicago in person, because wouldn't that be so fun? I want to bring together my photographer, a stylist, storyteller, website builder, all of these pieces in one place for you. So this is going to be for you if you are ready to take your personal brand online for the first time, or if you need a refresh of who you are and how you're showing up online. This is going to be just like a really beautiful opportunity to get all of those pieces together in one place so you can powerfully show up as who you are. So if that's calling to you, I want to encourage you to just hop over to my website and get in touch with me. Shoot me an email, and in the subject, you can just put summit and let me know you're interested, and I'll be sure to add you to the list once I get all my ducks in a row and can send you some more information about that. Let me quickly take you through the 6 things that you need to get started as it relates to a personally branded style guide. And there's just 6. Okay. First one, your tone of voice. And we've already talked about this a little bit with how you show up from a place of union with your masculine and feminine. You know your values, you know what you stand for. And that, in combination with your messaging, becomes your tone of voice. Number 2, photography. Photography plays a huge role in your personal brand. Are you using black and white photography or color? Is it blurred? What's the subject matter? Is it joyful? Is it quiet? You can create all of these emotions within a image. Color. You know I love me some color. I am Be Bright Lisa after all. Color plays a huge role in our emotional response to a business brand as well as a personal brand. Something else to pay attention to is the type of typography you choose. What fonts are you using? And really at the end of the day, you only need let's say two or three, a headline font, a subhead font. And if people are interested in what you said in the headline, they read the subhead and then they'll read your body copy. Nobody likes to read these days, especially not online as they're just quickly scrolling through Instagram or LinkedIn. You got to catch them with your tone of voice and catch them with a headline. And then if they're interested, they'll read your body copy. All right, number 5, a logo. Logos aren't necessary at all for personal brands, but maybe it's your name or the foundation you started or something that just weaves together a tightly built message, visual, idea, and your logo is there to support it. Your logo is not your brand. It's simply there to support all of these pieces, the whole overarching style. And then finally, one of my favorite parts of a personally branded style guide is your gimmick. We all get one. You got a gimmick limit of 1. So let me share with you what this means. My gimmick is bright. Be bright, Lisa. Now, I can be bright all over the place, right? The colors I choose, the clothing I wear, the lipstick I wear. Bright also relates to the light that shines from me onto my clients. It's the energy I bring into a room. I also like to think of it as intelligence, being literally a bright woman full of intelligence and light to shine on others. Okay, now that's my gimmick. I talk about personal branding and creative mindset. Nobody cares about what I eat for breakfast or how I work out or how I paint and decorate my house. Who cares? That has nothing to do with my personal brand and what I want to be known for and what I care most about, which is creative mindset, showing up as a light for myself and others, and personal branding, how to do that, how to actually express and share that. So I've done a lot of work to really simplify my gimmick. And if I were to swing in and add what I ate for breakfast and how I work out, all those pieces, it just starts to clutter and get messy. And we don't want that. We don't want that. We want clarity. So to wrap up, these are just a handful of ways to show up with intention online and in person. And online, I want to encourage you to start today. Simply show up, right? Unified energy shows up in your personal brand when you've done that inner mindset work and you know who you are without all that clutter of how you should show up or how it should look. It's a place that's filled with confidence and ease because you know your value, you know your worth, and you trust yourself. And I trust that you know how to do this. You might need a guide to show you the way, but you've already got it within you. Your intentions can be clear. Your mindset can be balanced. And when your self-awareness is turned on and tuned in, then you can choose intentionally how to show up. As Abraham Hicks would say, you got to get ahead of yourself, right? You got to get ahead of yourself and create a clear path of who you want to become and what it takes to get there. That's that feminine and the masculine. And then, my friend, start today, start building today, and then we do it again tomorrow and the next day. I want you to hit me up on Instagram or LinkedIn so I can see you showing up. Today is a beautiful day to start being you and sharing it with me. I'll see you there. Thanks for joining me on this episode of Find Your Clear Vision. I'd love to hear from you. Maybe something we talked about sparked an idea, or maybe you are ready to start your journey. If so, you can find me on the contact page of my website, bebrightlisa.com, or on Instagram at bebrightlisa. If you're feeling extra luminous, please rate and review Find Your Clear Vision on Apple Podcasts. I read all of the reviews and so appreciate the 5 bright stars. Remember, you, my friend, are a dazzling light and your clear vision is so needed. Until next time, be bright, Lisa.